What's up guys, it's your boy Rabner, and today I'm going to be showing you how to build a haunted house inside of 1.16. But before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe. So let's get into it. There are a few things that we need to think about just before we start getting to building, and one of those is palette. So obviously, some of these houses don't look quite as haunted as the one we're going to be building today, which the palette I'm going to be using is the one on the end, this one. So, the first palette I want to show you is sort of more of a Victorian style. I'm going to be building in a Gothic, more like haunted house style, but this is one of the ones we do. As you can see, it's more grey with the red brick, which doesn't make it particularly scary. But I think it's quite nice if you're not necessarily looking for the haunted house thing, but more just for the Gothic style in general. This one is more of your normal haunted house style, as it looks very run down and it's got quite a lot of greenery and stuff on it. One of the facts that I quite like about this one is the use of campfires, which sort of make it look like it's got a bit of an overhang, and that's quite clever. So, the next one is this sort of Blackstone house. This one's sort of more of a fantasy one, as you wouldn't really see many houses built in this style normally. The next style is more of a green one with the brick in it as well. This one could be done better, but I wanted to try and differentiate it from the Blackstone house, as normally I just use Blackstone for this. And this is the one we're doing. A feature that I'd like to point out is how there is this sort of pane with the cyan glass stained in the middle. And another thing I'd like to point out is the anvils and all of this, which I will be showing in the video. Another thing we need to think about is scale. Especially if you're in survival, you need to think about how big you want each of your builds to be. This one is the smallest one, which is 15 by 9, which leaves you a bit of space to add more sorts of size and stuff onto it. By 15 by 9, this is the centre square, so this isn't the whole size of the entire build. The next one, which I'm going to be building, is medium, which is 15 by 25. This gives us lots of room to add lots of different things coming off of this main square, and gives us plenty of room for expansion. The biggest one is a large, which is 31 by 21. This will give you an insane amount of room, and you can probably add like 3 thick walls if you really want to. So now, into the time lapse. Okay, so right now we are building the outline to the main square of the house and adding extra bits coming off of it. So this is like the main outer bit, but I'm also going to be making like a large extension to the main square right now. I actually got the measurements for this wrong. The bits coming off the edge are actually meant to be 5 long. The dots are supposed to be like a porch or a balcony or whatever. So right now I'm just working out where to put different things coming off of the house. And that's meant to be a tower. I actually got that bit wrong as well, or I decided to change it. So in a minute you'll see a very obvious cut that will change. Yep, there we go. Okay then. So just putting more porches on it. Sorry if the camera angles are a bit funny, that's just how it is in really. Yep, so there we go. Okay, so now I'm making a Blackstone outline along the outside of the main house. So this is going right at the bottom. So it's going all around, and it's sort of supposed to be a rocky outer layer. As we'll see near the end, I roughen it up a bit. So that's just going all around the house. You might be able to see Blackstone walls around the edges. Yeah, okay. So I'll just be putting in a bit more Blackstone, and the bits coming off of it will be filled in. And now I'm filling in the floor with spruce wood planks. Okay. Yeah, and the pit. Okay, there's another cut. So the pillars are going to be made out of basalt and are 6 blocks high, with the sixth block going along the top of the stone bricks. So as we'll see in a minute, so yeah, right now they're 5 blocks tall, but they're going to be extended, so they're a little bit higher in a minute. Yep, so here's me starting to make the thing, but then deciding that I don't want to do that, and making the pillars 1 block higher. And here I am putting in the second floor, or the first floor I guess. So yeah, it's all going well. While doing the interior of the build, which I'll show you after the time lapse, you can see that there are tons and tons of bats inside because I didn't light it up properly, but that doesn't really matter because I'm in peaceful and creative. So right now I am planning out what the second floor will look like. So these are the main pillars and I'm building them up to being 6 tall. Some of the pillar positions will be changed when I decide to do windows and stuff. Oh, that was a bit of a weird music change. Right, okay. So as you can see, I'm building it up and I'm going to be putting the top layer on soon. Yeah, sorry if my voiceover is a bit awkward, but I haven't scripted this at all, so yep. Okay. Okay, now I'm marking out I'm going to be marking out 2 towers on the build that'll go up slightly higher than the rest of it. So the one on the left is just there. And another odd cut, okay. Yep, oh, right. Okay, that was a bit weird. Yep, so now I'm building the porches and putting on the extra roof. Yeah, so that bigger bit we did earlier is going to be slightly lower down and block off part of that. So yeah, there's some of the porches. And the roof will be 2 blocks, then another 2 blocks, so on, like that. And then it'll be flat on the top. Yep, and you can see over there, there's a A-frame face, and we'll be gliding over to it soon. For the borders of the roof, I am using polished andesite, as I think it's quite blocky and generally looks quite good for this sort of build. Yeah, right. I think this is going to be the final layer before I just flatten the roof off at the top. Oh, okay, maybe there is one more layer, right. Oh, okay, yeah, so there's a jump cut where I added some dormers to the sides of the roof. Yeah, so right now, if you can't tell, I'm adding more polished andesite, I think that is, underneath the dormers to block off the black stone inside of the roof. Okay, yep. And now I am adding windows to the build. So I am doing underneath the window, and on top of it I am putting in more polished andesite, I know, my favourite, to sort of accentuate the windows. So, well, yeah, now we're going away and you can see this side, which looks very good, with lots of windows, so plenty of light will be going in. You can, yeah, look, you can see the bats flying around right there. Yep, and now you can see that I'm mixing in blackstone with the rest of the roof. So it's mainly made out of blackstone bricks, but I'm mixing in some blackstone stairs, slabs, and other things inside it to make it look more worn. Yep, you can see the tower on the right is sort of curved and it's got a pointy top onto it, which just sort of makes it stand out a bit more. There's a wandering trader on the roof. Don't really know how he got on there, but wandering traders are weird. Yeah, and you can see now. Oh, and now I am adding the sort of top to the roof, which is sort of the main thing that makes this design stand out. So on the bottom layer of the thing, the outline, I am doing andesite slab polish with, and next we have a cobblestone wall with an iron bar on top. And then on the top, around the sort of flat bit of the roof, I am putting an anvil and then the cobblestone wall with the iron bar on the top. So you can just see me going around doing that. Yeah, so this design wouldn't really be very good in survival because it uses a lot of iron, as you can see, with the anvils and the other stuff. And blackstone is a bit of a pain to get, really, as well, so. Yep, so there's another cut. As you can see in the dormer which we're facing, I've put in the glass for the windows. So it's a light grey pane, then a cyan pane, then another light grey pane. Yeah, so now you can see that I'm roughening up the bottom of the blackstone part at the bottom of the house, which just sort of makes it look more rocky, but you don't really need to do it to the extent I did it. That's just the way I sort of did it for the stuff. Okay. Right, so now we are going around and adding a few little... now we're mixing in the mossy stone and the cracked stone bricks into the walls. This just sort of makes it look more worn again and sort of adds texture. Normally I sort of put them in specific positions, like with the mossy stone I put it in the corner to make it look like that's, because that's where all the rain would go, wouldn't it? But I sort of just put them in this building to save time. Okay, so right now the build's sort of coming to a close, and we are going inside the building as I am building the floor. But now we are sort of coming out of the building and we can have a good look of the front of the build. Another thing I am adding is more dormers, but smaller ones, and I am starting to add leaves to the building. Underneath the windows, which just sort of makes them stand out. You can even put plant pots on top of the leaves with flowers or grass or whatever inside them to make them stand out. Yep, so you can see me placing them now, and soon the camera should be panning on top where I've put a large amount of them right on top of the house, just to sort of make it seem like it's a bit abandoned and that maybe it's a bit overgrown with foliage and stuff like that. Look, there's my name. I don't know why my name tag has shown up. It normally isn't supposed to, but that's just how it is. So here we are, we're zooming out of the house and we can see most of it. So yeah, that's pretty much what the house looks like, and I will see you in a minute. After that incredibly long time lapse, I just want to point out some of the things on the house that you might not have seen as clearly within it. So, the first thing is the sort of bottom layer at the bottom of the house. So this is black stone, as you can see, but I've mixed in some basalt to change the texture up a little bit. So as you can see, I've just mixed in slabs from the stairs to sort of roughen it up a bit, and generally it looks quite good, but in reality you don't really need to do it to this extent. Another thing is the spruce leaves. You just put them at the bottom of the windows basically, and with the windows it's sort of a, at the bottom we have the polished andesite stair, then light grey stained glass pane, and then cyan pane, and then the light grey one, and then again the andesite stair. We also need to look at the texture in the walls. I've just randomly mixed in mossy stone and cracked stone. It just sort of makes it look more worn and stuff. We also need to look at this. So the edge of the roof is basically just the stone wall with the iron bar on top, and then the polished andesite slab, and then you repeat it. I'd also, just to show, I haven't put on the corners of the build. It's just sort of circles round at the edge, and that just makes it sort of more rounded and not quite so sharp. We have also got this top bit, which is anvil, and then cobblestone wall with the iron bar on top, and you just repeat that. This one does go to the corners, so because it just sort of makes it stand out and it's a bit different to the bottom really. For the actual roof, I've mixed in black stone into a black stone brick, and I haven't put a stair in the corner of the building, as that just sort of doesn't really look right if you do it. So that's pretty much the outside. I just also like to show you that the dormers are free panes tool, and it's got this sort of roof on it. Okay, I have actually made some changes since the time lapse actually. So I've added a chimney, which as you can see has some campfires inside, and I've hidden them with the spruce trapdoor. And I have actually done the interior walls but not added any furniture, so we can have a look around here. So with the walls, it is stripped dark oak wood at the bottom, and then it's a light blue terracotta, and then a blue terracotta in stripes. You could probably choose different colours like red or pink, but I just chose this for simplicity. So this is sort of living room. I haven't obviously added any furniture, but this room could definitely be quite a good living room and place for people to sort of live. The next room, this has the fireplace, and would probably be a dining room or something. There's a big room for a table, and this would obviously heat the room up, and yeah, so this is nice. This room would probably be a kitchen, as it's got the fireplace again, and it's also got this nice window area, which is the tower in the build. So yeah, to cover up the polished basalt, I've used dark oak trapdoors, as if they didn't have them you'd be able to see the just basalt, and if you put in the wall like this it wouldn't look very good at all, because you wouldn't actually be able to see out most of the windows. The final two rooms is this room, which would probably be like a study or like a games room. So yeah, I've also done the trapdoor thing here again. And then the final room is just like a small cupboard, really. So it's just this. Don't really know what this would be used for. Probably just for storing clothes and stuff. And now onto the second floor. So before we get to the second floor, I just like to show how I have added a second layer to the floor. So the top floor, if you break this block, it's spruce underneath. So what this means is, say I wanted more light, I could break this block and it would be covered, and I could hide light under a carpet or whatever. Okay, so all of these would realistically be bedrooms, so this would be a master bedroom probably. This one would probably be a smaller bedroom. I've done the trapdoor thing again here. All the walls are the same throughout the house. This will probably be like a washroom. It's too small for a bedroom in reality. This is sort of like probably more of a storage room really. You could definitely put like a bed over here, but it could be like a nursery kids room in general. The final room on this floor is this room, which is just probably quite a awkward shape really, so you probably have like 2 beds in here. I've actually done a third floor, but it's not really much of a bedroom area, it's just sort of like a attic in reality. So this room is just tiny, you won't be able to fit anything in here. This is sort of like a slightly bigger room, probably might be able to put a small bed in here for someone to sleep in, but not really much room. I've used dark oak to cover up the sort of outside, and for the like 2-block tall parts, I've put a trapdoor and then a stair, as this gives it more like room for you to walk around. The next room is this one, which is again very small, probably couldn't really put anything in here, would just be used for storage. This room is absolutely huge. I think this room would definitely be best for sort of maybe like a library area, if you're making it haunted of course. You could put a lot of books here and maybe have like a few jump scares. I'm not good at redstone though, so I wouldn't know how to do that. And then this is like the final room. Again, not much room. This sort of weird bit down here where you can kind of see out the windows. So yeah, so that's pretty much the house. As you can see, it's not really particularly haunted, but it's just more of a Gothic interior. Yeah, but some ways you could make it look more haunted is obviously to remove the lights on the inside, mess up the bricks a bit more, crack some windows, or even put some signs over them, as it kind of looks like barricades. Yeah, like it's been sort of covered up for some reason. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for what I should build next in the comments, please put them. Sorry for the audio quality and some of the rough editing. This is like my first time attempting to do this. I'm open in the comments about what I should do next. So yeah, thank you and bye.